Hello. Good evening to you, one and all. I'm... Hello. A good chairman to you, one and evening. I'm the BBC chairman. I'm the BBC chairman of the Char Ladies. And I'm here to explain just what frightfully good value for money the BBC is. So, come with me now as we take a look behind the scenes at this magnificent corporation. Here are some of the backroom chappies who put together the amusing Alexander Sayles half-hour. Why, goodness, who's this? It's the Director General. Hello there. Michael?
Hello, lovely darling.
What are you doing here?
Well, I just popped in to make sure that every penny of the licence payer's money is being put to its best possible use. Yes, that's all fine, Mr. Director. Money well spent on jolly sensible things.
And by the looks of that skit over there, I'd say it was the best that money could buy, Michael.
Yes, it's the envy of the rest of the world.
Right. Well, let's now take a look upstairs in the control room.
Camera 2 next.
Keep him bouncing. Just bounce him up and down. That's lovely.
Well, here in the control room, all our highly skilled BBC boffins make sure that the picture received in your drawing room is of tip-top notch quality. And that doesn't come cheap. Okay, chaps, take it away. Right. Bring it back again.
Settle down. What pretty girls are, well, they know that I'm around. I kiss them and I hug them, kiss to me.
Good morning, Mr. Sayles.
They don't even know my name. They come out a wanderer.
Morning, Alexei. Have a good weekend.
I roam around. Well, throw on my lap, the man is Mary on the right. Jamie is the girl that I'll be with tonight. And when she asks me which one I love the best, I'll tear open my shirt and show her Rosie on my chest, 'cause I'm the wanderer, oh yeah, the wanderer. I roam around.
Who's that fat bastard?
Recently, a lot of my advisors have been telling me that I should go to the States. Well, actually, people have been coming up to me in the street and saying, "Why don't you sod off?" It's the same thing, really, isn't it? But I have difficulty getting into the States because of my political past. When you get to immigration, they ask you all these heavy questions, you know, like, have you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? Have you now or have you ever worn flared trousers? Have you now or have you ever got down with your bad self in a funkadelic situation? I went to Australia once, for 3 minutes. I got to the immigration desk at Sydney and the bloke was filling out the form there and he said, height, eyes, trousers. He said, criminal record? I said, I didn't know you still needed one. The only reason that a lot of British comedians go to America is to nick material off American comedians. We can always spot them, because they're coming on stage at Bingley Trades and Labour Club going, woo, all right, get down, yeah, woo. Hey, is there anybody here from Cincinnati? Woo, all right, get down. Hey, you're a beautiful audience. Yeah, woo, get down, all right, yeah. Everybody's going, what's he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. But you've got to remember, when you go to America, that they often use different words than like what we do. For instance, they say elevator, we say lift. They say drapes, we say curtains. They say president, we say seriously deranged git.
Ron, Mrs. Thatcher arrived in Washington today for talks with a seriously deranged git.
Morning. Morning.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Morning. Morning. Morning.
Morning.
Which is just typical scaremongering by the press and broadcasting media.
So, basically, Minister, you have no regrets about the decision to build a government eye-poking station here at Upper Middleton?
None at all.
In spite of the environmentalists' claim that the incidence of blindness, partial blindness, and general sight deficiency is shown to be 85% higher among people living close to the eye-poking centre than in other areas of the country.
Well,
Yes, gentleman in the third row.
Can the Minister tell us what exactly is... Can the Minister tell us what exactly is the reason for the government poking people's eyes out in the first place?
This is an old chestnut that keeps cropping up. It is basically, sir, a matter of simple economics. It is actually cheaper for us to poke 100 people's eyes out than it is to mine a single ton of coal. I think the figures speak for themselves.
Have you ever had your eyes poked out at all, Minister?
No, I haven't. But as a member of Her Majesty's government, I don't actually exist in a rational sense. I am simply the product of a diseased mind.
People say comedians are very mean. I'm not mean. My parents were very mean, though. Every Christmas, they used to give me an empty box and tell me it was an action man deserter. But these days, we're all encouraged to make investments, aren't we? Investments, put money in the bank, buy houses, stuff like that. I've made some very bad investments with my money. For instance, I opened a chain of shops. Big Alexei's High Street, nuclear weapons and marijuana shops. But nobody told me it was against the bloody law.
And we have to interrupt it there because news is just coming through of yet another near miss between two TV holiday programmes. On the line from Alicante is Dominic Welk. Dominic.
Yes. The incident occurred at 4:21 this afternoon when a report by Judith Chalmers on the 1820 Club passed within just a few platitudes of Maggie Philbin's survey of local fish markets. An eyewitness on the BBC crew claims she could actually see Miss Chalmers' bottom quite clearly from where she was sitting.
How far away was that?
About 10 miles. Of course, it was inevitable this sort of thing would happen sooner or later. There are an estimated 367 TV crews out here every day now filming holiday programmes. And of course, uppermost in everyone's mind is the tragic incident last summer when Annika Rice's inserts were rammed by a Frank Boff special.
And I'll have to stop you there, Dominic, as we're just getting reports of yet another major disaster on the Greek island of Naxos.
2 weeks under the sultry Mediterranean sun is still well within most people's pockets. But a word of warning about the seafood. Raw calamari can be a bit daunting for those of us prone to a chippy holiday tongue. Do take out some minutes.
But a word of warning about the seafood. Calamari can be a bit daunting to those of you prone to a jiffy holiday tummy. So please do take out.
Theoretically, we live in a democracy. But what does this democracy actually amount to? Well, every 4 years you get to put a little X in a box. Or, if you're really worked up about an issue, they let you wander around the streets with a bit of cardboard on a stick. But in reality, wealth and therefore power are actually passed on by families from generation to generation. And especially in show business, you get these dynasties. For example, there's Alan Ladd Jr., son of the famous actor, who's now in charge of the very powerful Ladd Company. And you've got Champion the Wonder Horse Jr. He's now a senior executive at Paramount Studios. Here at the BBC, we've had Billy Cotton Jr., and Michael Gray. And even when they've passed on, there's still many sons and daughters of famous, well-loved BBC performers who are ready to take their place.
32, day 324, when the episode begins 15 minutes later because of the junction with Newsnight on 2.
Right-o, me hearties. Shiver me timbers, and let's go through the budgets on that one, shall we?
Yes, we've checked the figures which seem to tally with the original estimates, sir.
Jolly good, lads. Let's get the boys to bring in tea now, shall we? And Black Jake, put on the tape of the next programme for us. Let's have a look at that fat bastard again.
The legacy of the 60s. These estates, when they were first built, were supposed to represent some kind of perfect urban society with their tower blocks and their streets in the sky and the adventure playgrounds the SAS now uses training grounds. These estates were supposed to be some kind of William Morris workers' paradise where all the pros were going to play the flute and weave their own yoghurt. And they were going to stand round all day in the windswept concrete piazzas discussing Chekhov. Here, don't you find, Ron, that Chekhov, with his alienating use of naturalism, makes one completely reassess one's attitude to the Russian bourgeoisie in the late 19th century? Oh, yeah, it's a definite possibility, too, yeah. And the idea was to create a workforce that was totally dependent on centralised agencies. Like, I used to live in one of these tower blocks, and all day people would stand round at the bottom of the lifts, whinging, going, "Oh, I went to the toilet 2 days ago and the council haven't been round to pull the chain yet." Of course, now everything's reversed. And everybody's supposed to live locked away in their own little fortress that they own. Have you noticed how people who buy their own council houses always put that Georgian bottle glass in the window so everybody walking past outside's going... The people that remain on these estates often get very depressed. And all the doctors can do is give them really powerful tranquilizers like Ativan or Librium. I mean, if these tower blocks fell down, all the inhabitants would stay up there floating. Right, those are your rooms. You can come in at any time of the day or night. But you'll have to submit to an intimate body search by my husband. We do like you to be out of your rooms between 10 and 11, as that's when I like to go through your luggage. Early morning showers are between 7 and 8. Just sign the flannel book, fill in some hot water requisition forms and get them ratified by the Court of Human Rights. And if you fancy a bath after your evening meal, I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Fine, well...
Wife swapping is at 7 p.m. sharp. And you'll know it's time for high tea when you hear this. Doesn't make much noise without the gong, I'm afraid. So you'll have to listen very hard.
Right, thank you very much.
Dialectical and historical materialism seminars are in the TV lounge every Monday and Wednesday. Failure to wipe your feet is punishable by a form of Chinese water torture. In the event of a nuclear war, there's complimentary Savlon in the loo. And we don't allow any dead bodies in the house after 8:30.
Dead bodies?
Not after 8:30, I'm afraid.
What are we going to do about Uncle Edwin?
We'll have to leave him in the boot.
Well, there we are, then. Shall I take your J-bills off you now?
Yes, right.
Good. I'll get my husband to lock them in the safe for you.
Won't they suffocate?
Yes.
Another member of the gerbil family is the prong-horned antelope. The antelope is a native of Western Kenya and a full-time stewardess with British Airways. Her horns are by Christian Dior. Swept back in the classical style, she's teamed this here with large cloven hooves, a thick hairy hide and diamante earrings. But the plains of the African savannah are a jungle, and out there in the bushes lies the antelope's most deadly enemy, the mynah bird. The mynah bird is an amazing mimic, and this one is mimicking a lion. If unable to outrace the lion, the antelope will resort to an old, tried and tested trick. it will play dead. Man's relationship with animals is often extremely complex. A few years ago, a young boy, sole survivor of an air crash, was found and raised by a pack of wild dogs. Later on, he was rescued, went to university, and would have gone on to a career in banking, except he was killed while chasing a Vauxhall Viva. An almost exactly similar thing happened to me. Sole survivor of an air crash, I was found and raised by a bunch of wild flowers. The first 6 years of my life, I thought I was a begonia. Still comes back to me occasionally. Recently, I've got a pet. I've got a lemming. You know, whereas most animals leave crap all over the house, this leaves suicide notes. Alexei, don't blame yourself, man. It's not your fault. I come home late at night. I found it trying to dial the Samaritans with his little snout, you know. Hello, this is the Samaritan. Yes, what can I help you with? Oh, get lost. Dolphins. Dolphins are very intelligent. You never see dolphins standing as candidates for the Social and Liberal Democratic Party, do you? Psst. Nylons. What? Real nylon stockings, mate. Got 'em off a yank. 6pence halfpenny each. Now I'm rubbing myself. Call it a sprazy. Powdered egg, petrol coupons, not on the ration, chickety snitch, whackety whack, 2 and a tenner. Now I'm rubbing myself. What the hell are you talking about? Okey dokey, dickory dock, yakety yak, Cadbury snack. Copper load of this. Bet you don't know what that is.
It's a banana.
Oh, you've got a good memory, Dax. I bet it's a long time since you've had one of them. Well, I tell you, mate, you could have any bit of skirt in the pub with this.
Why don't you bugger off?
Sausages, sir? Certainly, sir. I've got pork, I've got beef, I've got saveloy, fish, I've got herring, I've got haddock, I've got pilchards, I've got halibut, I've got a nice bit of sperm whale. Don't ask me where I got it, curlers talk cost lives.
Look, piss off, Porky.
Pig's bladders, sir? Certainly, sir. I've got pig's bladders, I've got og's trotters, I've got sheep shins, I've got goose giblets.
My God, you've got balls.
Balls, sir! I've got yak knackers, I've got goat scrotum, I've got beef bollocks, dickory dock, don't forget the diver.
Look, will you just sod off? You're getting right up my bloody nose.
That's nice, isn't it? Only trying to make a living. Don't you think I'd rather be up there with those brave lads in the Spitfires if it wasn't for this ruddy chin leg? Anyway, why ain't you in uniform?
What?
Yeah, you some kind of a conchi or something.
It's 1988.
Oh, Giles, I always thought you were so brave. Why aren't you out there getting killed like everybody else?
You're all mad! The war's been over for 40 years!
I've got bootlaces, I've got condensed milk. Want some of the sausage touring? When I used to tour as a stand-up comedian, sometimes I used to play big rock gigs, big concert halls, sort of place where you could see Genesis, if you were really unlucky. I hated the rock business. I hated the merchandising. All the merchandising, like the T-shirts and the posters. You know, the T-shirts with, like, I've seen Marillion on them. But hell, you'd want to keep it quiet, really, wouldn't you? And the tour jackets. The tour jackets with, like, Black Death Tour of Europe, 1346 to 1359, across the back of them. And I hated the empty hero worship of pop music, you know. Oh, God, I'm mad about Bono. Bono of U2. Oh, God, he sends me crazy. Oh, God, I love U2. I worship the pseudo-religious vacuity of their songs. Oh, yes. I mean, U2, they're more than a band. They're a philosophy. Except in France, where they're a range of soft cheeses. It's such a passive experience going to a rock gig, I don't know. I mean, there's all these tiny little dots bouncing about on a stage about 4 miles away, you know. I mean, it says on the tickets it's Michael Jackson, but it could be Michael Heseltine as far as I can see. Oh, it's a killer, thriller night. If you're really lucky, you can get to join in. You can strike a match or light a lighter and hold it aloft. and suddenly there'll be 75,000 people going, oh, bloody hell! There's all them rock festivals every summer, isn't there, on muddy fields somewhere in the southwest of England, you know? I mean, they're like the First World War. Because you had heavy metal then, but it was called shrapnel in those days. I don't know, I became disillusioned with touring. It was 5 a.m. one morning, and we were pulling into some transport cafe somewhere.
They told me when I went on the road, it'd be sex, drugs and rock and roll. But all I've had so far is electric shocks, fleas and a bad head cold.
Driver, 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 turn the wheel and put the hammer down.
Driver, driver, you got 6 big wheels, you got a straight 8 diesel and a heart of steel, but you got to turn this bus around. You gotta take this lonely boy back to London town. I gotta tell the kids out there that this touring's crap. Don't wanna spend the rest of my life at Watford Gap. Driver, driver, get my agent on the phone. There's a comedian here who wants to go home. I can't do another show. I'll kill the promoter before I sing another verse on Run Out, Jump on the Mountain.
Driver, 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 turn the wheel and put the hammer down.
Driver, driver, let me tell you how I feel. I'm being hijacked on the wheels of steel. Well, I've given everything I had. One more gig would send me mad. I just got to find my way back home. There's no time for that laugh. There's no time for that phone. Would be pissed and screaming mad, of course. There ain't no point in calling the cops. We need the Soviet Air Force. The hotel rooms are cheap, dirty and small, and the Martians in the next room are coming through the wall. Some wet and furry lying in my bed, and the fungus in the icebox looking at my head.
Driver, 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 driver.
As the deadline grows ever closer, this week the great contest is on to find out who will be chosen to host the 1996 Olympic Games. Will it be Rio de Janeiro, Kuala Lumpur, San Francisco, or 29A Accrington Terrace SE1?
Right. This is the sitting room, where all the main track and field events will take place. Men's hurdles, 4x400 metres relay and so on. For the shot put, javelin and discus, obviously we'd open the window. And this table here does fold down for the men's decathlon. In the dining room, we thought we'd put the weightlifting, karate, judo, gymnastics, fencing, volleyball and equestrian events with rifle and pistol shooting out in the scullery. Only you'll have to mind the budgie because he's easily frightened. Swimming, yachting, rowing, canoeing and sculling will all be housed in the upstairs bathroom, except for the Cox Falls, which will be in the outside lavatory. And of course the Olympic Village will be in the spare bedroom.
Yes, well, you've been most helpful, Mrs. Rat's Rectum. I have to say that my colleagues and I are a little worried about the viability of staging a major international tournament in a 2-up, 2-down London council house.
Wow. They did stage last year's Tory party conference at the chip shop on the corner.
Parents will be happy with their local
Right, I'll
educational
have 2 gurneys and 75p chips, please.
You'll have to wait for the gurneys. It's only just gone in. I've got rock salmon, skate and haddock.
Haven't you got any cods?
No, cod's all gone.
Well, I'll have the haddock then, and 2 gherkins and a pickled egg.
2.25, please.
Right, there's yours.
Edit? What have you got edit for? You know I don't like edit.
One of the most urgent issues concerning this year's Olympic Committee, of course, is up to what age should athletes be allowed to compete?
In the USSR, we don't believe that growing old is any barrier to sporting excellence. That is why we have an extensive compulsory gymnastics program for all old-age pensioners.
And back at the long jump, we're just about to see the Russian Nikolai Pachenko begin his attempt on the world record. Well, we'll rejoin that in a second, but over here it looks like, yes, another incredible throw by Natalia Korshov, her 7th this afternoon. And Poroshenko psyching himself up here now. Is it going to be a long one? No! What a disappointment! But we're going over to the pool for just a moment because the Soviet Union's newest freestyle diving champion is just about to attempt a triple pike and tuck.
Yes, there's a mammoth sale on all this week at Wig City. Yes, this Easy Care Twist Power Axminster is just £4.95 per square metre. This double-woven foam-backed acrylic mix, an incredible £3.65. And this simulated blonde shag broadloom with brine nylon highlights is just £5.95 with free underlay. How do we do it? Wig City's team of qualified trichologists will help plan your dream postiche, advise on colour, and even fit your new hairpiece in the comfort of a huge plate glass window in the middle of the high street. And if you're just receding slightly on the forehead, Wig City has plenty of toothpaste-sized remnants at knockdown prices.
How do Wig City do it when they do it with so little loot? If only we knew it, we could all do it. There'd be nobody you'd know. We're all as bald as a coot.
Hang on. Hold it. Hang on a minute. We haven't finished writing the next bit yet. Cool. It's murder, this comedy writing game, isn't it, eh? You see, the trouble is that according to the experts, there's only 7 jokes in the world. That's one of them. The other 6 are about jelly. There, it's finished.
It's very funny. That's the most hilarious thing I've ever read in my life. It's unbelievably funny.